Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Braga, where Rangers have lost the first leg of the Europa League quarter-final to the Portuguese side, Abel Ruiz, with a first-half strike following an error from Leon Balogun in the Rangers' defence. It was a largely frustrating performance from Giovanni van Bronckhorst's men. Third time lucky, it looks like here. Apologies, folks, if you're just tuning in. We keep getting losing reception here due to the Wi-Fi being absolutely terrible. We do apologise for that. Yeah, we're just mentioning it was a largely frustrating performance from Rangers defensively. Again, mistakes in the back line that caused the goal for Braga. Leon Balogun this time at fault for the goal. You simply cannot do that in the box at this level of European competition. He was hooked. One of three changes, incidentally, on 62 minutes. He was brought off. Borna Barisic came on at left back with Calvin Bassey moving alongside Connor Goldson. We also seen Kemar Roof replacing Fashion Sakala and Joe Rebo coming on for Ryan Jack, who looked dejected when he came off. Not the best performance from Ryan Jack this evening. John Lundstrom, I felt, was the best player in a Rangers jersey. There's no doubt about it. The comment coming in from Union 1872, putting the ask about Ramsey in the presser. Yeah, we'll try and do that when we head down and speak to Giovanni van Bronckhorst very shortly indeed. No Aaron Ramsey at all this evening. Rangers did threaten in the final stages of the game. Connor Goldson almost found a sort of half chance, you'd have to say, but the goalkeeper Matthias did well to block from close range. That aside, very few chances for Rangers, it had to be said. As I mentioned, that first half opportunity for Fashion Sakala, but he blazed over the bar. You really want him hitting the target from there. Goldson had a header from a Tavernier corner that he should have hit the target with as well, but they just never really tested the Braga defence, it has to be said. Rangers badly miss Alfredo Morelos. It was at times Sakala and Kent were simply out-muscled up top, and you'd imagine with Alfredo Morelos up there, it would have been a different story if Rangers had the Colombian on the park. Let's look at some of the comments that are coming in just now. Keith Hamilton keeps the faith. Rangers will progress to the semi. You've got to fancy them at Ibrox. With that Ibrox crowd behind them, it's only a 1-goal margin for Braga. And from what I've seen of them this evening, I certainly fancy Rangers to turn this tie around. There's certainly a lot of encouragement there for Giovanni van Bronckhorst and the players to take going into that game. Comment there from CGM55, Arfield as well. He was bad, yeah. Lively start from Arfield. They set that chance up for Ryan Kent, of course, after 4 minutes. Sort of half chance for Kent, you'd have to say. But from then on, he sort of faded out the game. He couldn't really impose himself on the Braga backline. And Rangers offered not much going forward, it has to be said. Braga dealt with Rangers comfortably at the back. As I mentioned, the two centre-backs weren't really tested. Termina and also Carmo and the Kuto as well simply dealt with Sakala. All that Sakala and Kent had to offer. And as I mentioned, Kent sort of faded out the game in that second half. Rangers just struggled to get the ball to him. But Gary Sellers mentions Lundstrom is immense, becoming immense for us. One of the only players that keep out of that team. Yep, he was my man of the match tonight, John Lundstrom. Always wanting to drive the team forward, always coming short and making himself available for passes. He looked like he was actually moved into a back five at the start of the second half. With Connor Goldson moved over to the left-hand side, but that only lasted over a couple of minutes before reverting back to the normal back four. But yeah, Lundstrom again, good performance from him. Glenn Kamara, has to be said, guilty of giving the ball away at times, caught in possession at times as well. It did win Rangers a couple of free kicks, it has to be said, but with neat little turns. But apart from that, very much not little else from the Finn. And we all know he's capable of so much more. He's one of those players, like a number of players for Rangers at the moment, just not firing in all cylinders and just lacking in confidence, it's fair to say. But listen, it's only half-time in this tie. Braga, of course, have the narrowest of leads. They'll head to Ibrox. And with that crowd behind Rangers, it's going to be absolutely bouncing next week. And you'd fancy Rangers to turn this tie around. They're certainly not out of it by any means, but they've just got to defend better. That'll do it for me. I'm going downstairs now to speak to Giovanni van Bronckhorst in the post-match press conference, and we'll bring you everything he says on the Rangers Review site. So head over to rangersreview.co.uk. And remember, if you want to take advantage of the site just now, just £1 for 2 months worth of content, and you also get entered into a prize draw for a tour of Ibrox with a legend, a prize you can win for 4 people as well. So a cracking prize. Head over to rangersreview.co.uk/subscribe. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow morning for the morning briefing. But until then, enjoy the rest of your Thursday.